doesn't exist. When I come out of my dressing room, I'm Norma Jean. I'm still her when the camera's rolling.
Wow. Welcome to DBL. The new Marilyn Monroe movie Blonde is making headlines over its NC-17 rating, which is given to films that show over-the-top violence, sexual content, or harsh language. So the Motion Picture Association gave the movie the rating due to, quote, some sexual content. This means the movie is only recommended for adults and no one under the age of 17 should be allowed to see it in a theater. But star Ana de Armas is upset over the film's rating. She told Variety, there are other R-rated movies that are way more explicit. She added, it's important to show the sexual moments in Marilyn's life that made her end up the way she did. Now, in the past, movies like Basic Instinct and American Pie received NC-17 ratings, but then the directors re-edited them so they could be labeled an R instead. So this will start off at the theaters, Jeff, and then end up on streaming. Do you think it'll hurt their whole box office?
But what does box office numbers mean in today's 2022, right? Is it better if you strike gold on Netflix or strike gold at the box office? Because they're going to be showing the NC-17 version on Netflix.
I think the box office means more for Marvel movies, like the big movies that they want to see.
Look at Top Gun. We talked about them breaking box office records. So
right, but so if you make $500 million at the box office and you get to talk about, it's kind of like the old ways, right? If you make $1 billion on Netflix and no one talks about it, you know, you're going to want the Netflix. I think Netflix is going to make more money. The point of my story is because that's NC-17. People are going to want to see that version. I don't know why. We're like that, right? And Marilyn Monroe, how do you tell that story without the sexuality?
You can't. And you know, I look at this country and it's kind of a free-for-all in some places, but not in others. Like with our movies, it's very puritanical and don't say this and don't do this and there's too much blood. But everything else, you want to go get a gun, have at it. You want to go do anything, you know, corporations can put pretty much whatever they want in your food. have at it. You can do whatever you want. But when we start talking about sex, everybody starts to get really strange, even though we consume a metric ton of porn. Right. So it's I do not understand.
Yeah, it's hypocritical. Yeah. What would you say, Erica?
I think the NC-17 is really where parental advisory was in like the 80s, 90s, I guess.
80s.
Because it was meant so that people would be like, oh, protect the children, protect your virgin eyes or virgin ears. But it backfired because people were like, well, that's where the good stuff is. So now I look at NC-17 and I'm like, oh, this is like for real for adults. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Like, what do they have going on? I don't think it means the same thing that it did in, you know, American Pie, which was also a movie that was catered towards teens, where this is going to be something that's catered towards adults. Yeah. I don't know if it matters.
No, that's a great point. Okay, so a lot of you were talking about this. A finalist on America's Got Talent is creating controversy over the use of a so-called deepfake, the technology in their act. The group used a former AGT contestant to sing over an AI recreation of Simon Cowell. Take a look.
Meant to be the kind of love that lasts forever.
Oh my gosh, the group called Metaphysics also used images of Howie Mandel, Terry Crews, and Simon singing opera. The company is also behind the viral Deep Tom Cruise TikTok account that uses the technology to create a fake likeness of the actor. Is this really a talent, Jeff, or just technology? What would you say?
I think it's just technology at this point, but they said, I was listening to a podcast about this specifically, and they say in 5 years, it's going to be seamless. There is going to be no more voiceovers for movies, you know, like when they have to dub over and they're speaking Spanish, and then, but they're going to be able to sync the lips with the actor's voice. So they're going to get the exact same inflection and speak in that language, and it's going to be seamless with the lips as well, so there won't be any more of that dubbing. How crazy is that?
I think we're missing the deeper issue behind if this is considered a talent on America's Got Talent, because what's the end goal? To get a show in Vegas. So now what are we doing with said show? You don't need any of these actors or performers at all you're completely doing a digital compilation of all of these big names and personalities for a show.
Right.
It's really very deep when you think about it.
There's no crystal clear legal ramifications with that. That's why the Tom Cruise one can get away with it on TikTok. So that's scary. They're going to have to introduce some legislation, I hope, in accordance with that.
See, I looked at that and I saw 5 years away from our first huge political scandal.
I already thought of that.
I mean,
I know. That's scary, very. This really upsets me. There's a new horror film that's getting a lot of attention called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yeah, the beloved bear goes on a murderous rampage after being abandoned by Christopher Robin. Have a look.
Christopher, we need to leave. Now.
I really need to find out what's happening here, okay?
Aw, the bear in the film is a far cry from the Disney character in the movies and books. This was very upsetting, and of course I looked into it. I was like, how could they do this? You know, Winnie the Pooh has all these copyrights and likenesses, but I guess they all expired.
Yeah.
And nobody bought them.
Because Winnie the Pooh's
And
terrible.
this is what they did.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh is the most boring of all the cartoon characters. I'm glad this happened. This needed to go down. Nobody likes Winnie the Pooh.
Everybody
He's
likes
not
Winnie
funny.
the Pooh.
He's not witty. He doesn't
a good
do anything.
friend.
He gets his head stuck in pots. No, this is more interesting, Erica. I would watch this over any Winnie the Pooh. Tell me the best Winnie the Pooh story then. I'll wait.
I don't need to tell you a Winnie the Pooh story to say that I don't want to watch this. And people are like, great, don't watch it. I'm going to watch it. I'm just like, why? Why make Pooh Boo?
Thank you.
Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why this was necessary. First of all, it's grody. That is grody to the max.
It's not.
It is. It looks demonic and it looks gross.
It does.
What about the movie It? People didn't attack clowns.
Demonic.
A clown is generic, though. Like, there's millions of clowns out there.
I don't like that either.
Winnie the Pooh. And Winnie the Pooh, you said name one of the episodes. First of all, I loved Winnie the Pooh, the cartoon, but do you guys remember Pooh Corner?
No.
When they were all live action? Nobody watched Pooh Corner?
Just in college.
No.
Oh, okay. I watched Pooh Corner, and Pooh Corner taught me all about
Stop saying
loyalty.
that, please. Sounds like a place in a children's facility.
Stop it.
Get away from me and go over to Pooh Corner. Yeah, that's...
Stop. Oh, some of our viewers have seen it. Okay.
No, they have
Yes,
not.
they have. Stop it. Listen, you learned that Winnie the Pooh helped, helped Tigger with a lot of the things that Tigger was going through.
What was he going through?
He had a lot of energy. And Winnie the Pooh would tell him to sit down. And then with Eeyore and the bow on Eeyore's tail.
I
and
feel
then
like
Piglet.
Eeyore would be a better,
sidekick.
scary villain.
No.
You know?
Well, none of them should
We
be.
already have them sitting right here.
Yeah, that's Eeyore.
Yeah, you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
happy.
you.
No, I'm being
that's
honest.
you.
Nobody likes Winnie the Pooh. It's a big
Everyone
fact.
loves Winnie
Did
the Pooh.
anybody in the room speak up?
I think this is going to be a big
Sierra
hit over
Sierra
Halloween.
liked Winnie the Pooh. Thank you, Sierra. Oh, we got Sharon liked Winnie the Pooh. If you've been on the Winnie the Pooh ride in Disneyland, phenomenal. Life-size Pooh characters. Okay, we'll be right back.